Pipe Network presents.
On this episode of Season 4, let's talk.
Contrary to popular belief, I was, at least for me, I was actually good in basketball. Diba? I had this aspiration to play professional, of course. Lahat naman yun yung gusto. Yeah. So I did try, pero of course, I'm here. Hindi natuloy, no. Siguro yun yung isa sa mga sana tinuloy ko or hindi.
On behalf of my guest here in the Rajiv Show, we would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hey folks, welcome back. What can I say? We've reached the near end of our conversation, and of course, what a way to end the conversation with my partner in crime in one of our projects, Pipe Network, and I want to introduce him as my last because I've been waiting for this opportunity to have him on this conversation. We've worked, like I mentioned, we worked together, and we're still continuing to work together. And to wrap up the end of my series, I wanted to have him as my conversation because I have nothing but love, unconditional love for this guy. So let me end my very long introduction by introducing the one and only legendary Dreian De Ocampo. Hey pal, how you doing?
Are you sure that's me that you're introducing? Parang ibang tao. Is that me?
Yeah.
Yeah, hello everyone. How are you, Raj?
I'm doing phenomenal. I'm doing phenomenal. I can't believe I've already hit 64. It's just like it felt like it was yesterday I started the entire series, and now it's 64. Makes my
Yeah, I know. I've been following.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
wow.
I've been following the show. I think from episode 3,
Yeah,
maybe. At least dito sa Let's Talk series mo, no? So,
yeah.
I've listened to a bunch. Not all. I'm being honest here, ha? No
Yeah.
bull. I've
Yeah.
listened to especially doon sa mga brand names na kilala ko rin. So,
Yeah.
yun yung mga pinapakinggan ko. And it's a good series. I mean, I implore everyone to listen to it. I mean, if you're listening to this one, maybe because of me, maybe because of Raj, or maybe because this is the ender. You know, people like to listen to the last episode of
Yeah.
any podcast, any show. Diba?
Yeah.
Lalo na kung series and season ender, sorry.
Yeah.
Marami pang alam ko susunod kay The Rajiv Show eh. But yeah, I am happy to be here, pare.
Yeah. Cheers, cheers. Aside from that phenomenal introduction that I gave, could you give a little bit of background to my listeners about who you are?
So, I'm from Manila, from Parañaque. I think that's relevant since wala sa Metro Manila si Rajiv.
Yeah.
I am my work is I'm a business development manager for a solar company. So we install solar panels on big rooftops. So yung mga gustong bumili dyan, alam nyo na gagawin ninyo. And I am early 30s. I'm in my early 30s. I have 2 kids, a partner, and a lot of time to spare. No, kidding, wala akong oras. But I am a podcaster. I am a podcast producer, and I am part of one of the podcast networks here in the Philippines. And just so happens na si Rajiv nandun rin. And I like baseball. I'm beginning to love baseball more than basketball. So sorry, basketball people. What else? I guess for starters, yun lang muna ako. Marami pang ano mamaya. will evolve, no? I suppose.
Yeah. So, in our conversation here, what I've written down is business, development, family, podcast, network, and baseball. And it looks like it's a huge Pandora's box to open up, and it's going to be an interesting conversation. So, before we transition into those conversations, I want to take it back a bit. I want to take back in a time travel. If you and I were classmates in high school, who were you if you and I were classmates in high school?
So, uh, so for the first time, hindi ko lang narinig yung tanong. I was actually asked the question already. The very famous "Who are you in high school?" So,
Yeah.
um, sa, sa sa mga classmates ko nung high school, I was a silent person. I don't know if maniniwala ka doon because I'm
Really?
pretty loud nowadays. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a silent person. I have friends but I like to keep it to myself kung ano man yung gusto kong gawin. The
Yeah.
only time na magsasalita ako is about games that I play, computer games.
Yeah.
And of course sports, basketball. And sa contrary to popular belief, I was, at least for me, I was actually good
Oh.
in basketball. Diba? I had this aspiration to play professional, of course. Lahat
wow.
naman yun yung gusto. Yeah. So I did try, pero of course I'm here. Hindi natuloy, no. Siguro yun yung isa sa mga sana tinuloy ko or hindi. Another aspect of me sa high school, I always have a spoon lunchtime. Isa ako dun sa mga, I don't know if you experienced that in your own high school, but in our high school, may kutsara lang ang baon pero nakakakain na. No, I want to I want to clear my name here, no. Hindi kami kukuha ng pagkain sa mga batang ayaw mamigay ng pagkain. That's hindi totoo 'yon. Ang kinukuha namin ng pagkain yung mga nagbibigay. You know, you have a classmate na hindi maubos yung pagkain. I was one of them for a long time, no. It's not because kasi parang for me, I don't know, parang mas masarap yung pagkain pag hindi ikaw yung nagdala. Alam mo yun? So it's pretty weird. I don't know. And I never studied. I am not smart in school, or at least hindi talaga ako nag-aaral. So my grades are low, very low until college. Yeah, that's me in high school. I guess aside from I really don't have many friends, but I know a lot of people. Many people know me. I hope for good reasons. But yeah, that's me. That was me in high school. If you're going to ask me right now kung ano yung nakita kong gagawin ko if I foresee kung ano man ang ginagawa ko ngayon, kung ano yung nung high school, I wouldn't say na ito yung ginagawa ko. Malayo. As in, wala. I mean, I had my own goals, my predictions ko anong gusto ko mangyari, pero I wouldn't say na ito yun right now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. And to follow up to that question, you mentioned silent type. I presume you were an introverted at that time period.
I guess, I mean, kasi it's not that I don't want to talk to people when I was in high school. It's just that I really don't want to talk to people. I mean, with respect to all of my classmates, I have close friends. Pero parang I just wanted to talk if I have something in mind, no?
Interesting.
And right now, I have plenty of things in my mind. I mean, every day. But noon kasi parang if kahit yung sa teacher, if your professor or your teacher asks you something or graded recitation in a group, who is this, who is that, no? I would say na most of the time, if not sometimes, alam ko yung sagot. Pero I try to keep it to myself. Parang ang effort kasi pag yung sasagot ka. Pero syempre pare, nandun rin, there's also an element na baka kasi mali ako sa sagot.
Interesting.
Pasok yun. I mean, that's part of it. Yeah.
Interesting. It's funny when you said graded recitation. It took me back to this one funny memory that I had in college. I don't know if I shared this. Um, where I was thinking out loud, and then the funny part of it was, uh, the story was there was someone explaining something about bread of salt. There's a in English there was this topic about bread of salt, which is the pandesal. There's something some writer wrote about pandesal and called it bread of salt. And then the the person said something like sexual innuendo, and then in my head it was triggered. Like I said, yeah, that's what she said. It's funny. I was thinking about it in my head, but it came out of my mouth and everybody was laughing, and I was like, whoa. i I had the late reaction. And
Yeah, it's
yeah.
ano, nung sa graded recitation kasi you have this feeling na you have to say something para your
Yeah.
grades would para tumaas yung grades mo or it would affect your grades.
Yeah.
Pero ano since everyone is silent, not like any non-graded recitation,
Yeah.
parang you don't want to raise your hand or you don't want to say anything kasi if you're wrong, shit, lahat ng tao ano everyone will notice that you were wrong, di ba?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean it's ano that makes me anxious. I mean again no, when I was in high school, I don't know what happened to me kung bakit ngayon hindi na ako masyado nahihiya. I still have
Yeah.
moments of
Yeah.
embarrassment or being shy, but wala
But
na
you brush it
nawala
off.
na sila lahat
I presume you brush it
Yeah, I
off
mean,
much more easier.
yeah, I did. I mean, it's like if if you want to do something, like for example, reach a goal, basically, diba? If you want to reach a goal, wala naman mangyayari sa'yo if you just sit down and wait for shit to happen, diba? You have to
Yeah.
create your shit for shit
Yeah.
to happen.
Yeah.
That sounds wrong, but that's the shit that I want to to say. Diba?
Yeah.
Parang I realized somewhere down the road, I realized that if I'm not gonna do anything, nothing will happen. Diba? I mean,
Yeah.
do you know the saying? This is a Tagalog saying. I don't know if you know this, pero nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa tao ang gawa. It means that God, whoever your God is, with respect to all religions, kung sino man ang pinapaniwalaan ninyo, whoever you are believing, kung sino ang pinapaniwalaan ninyo, they will try to make opportunities for you. Pero that's just an opportunity, 'di ba? Parang if you don't explore that, or if you're not gonna do anything about that, nothing will happen to you, 'di ba? I mean,
Interesting.
siguro that now that I realized it, siguro yun nga yun na I realized na if I'm not gonna do anything, I'm not gonna have anything, basically.
Interesting. Interesting. I wanted to highlight here in our conversation one thing that you mentioned. You are in business development. I've separated business and development because I wanted to highlight the word development in terms of who you are now as a person and as a personality. Uh, you develop shows, and you're also, like I mentioned earlier, you're also my business partner in Pipe Network. Uh, when did that come about? The interest of choosing business development, was that in college or later down the line when you were moving forward with life? How did that come about?
I'd say when I had my first office job. My first office job kasi was in a serviced office.
Uh,
Very quick explanation of a serviced office is we have, like, for example, 12 rooms,
oh,
and various businesses would come in and rent the rooms, the meeting rooms rather, also some office spaces, work desks for a very minimal fee.
huh,
Basically, binanggit ko na yung commercial namin nung doon pa ako nagtatrabaho.
uh,
So, I've come across, marami akong businesses na nakita nun eh. They have BPO, business process outsourcing, meron silang customer service, meron silang like this, meron silang like that. So, parang in my head, if they can do the business, I
huh,
can do the business also. Diba?
yeah,
Diba? Parang, of course, capital aside, hindi man tayo lahat may capital para magsimula ng negosyo. Diba?
yeah,
But I maybe that's the one. I mean, I remember when I just started out, I would talk to people and tell them about the business venture that I was thinking about. For the life of me, hindi ko na rin maalala kung ano yung binanggit ko noon. Pero it's something na I was certain na magagawa siya. Of course, hindi nag-push through. Diba?
Yeah.
Kasi kung nag-push through, maybe we're not having this conversation right now. But
Sure.
that's besides the point. So, siguro, in terms of the business, I know that baka kasi wala talaga mangyari if I'm just going to stick to the 8 to 5. If I'm not gonna grind, if I'm not gonna make my own opportunities, baka wala kasi talaga mangyari. Again, I have 2 kids, I have a family, di ba? Na kailangan i-support.
Yeah.
So, yun. And what's your other question?
What got you in the interest of what took your interest? Was there a pivotal moment where you were just sitting down and then said, "Hey, I like this. I sat down with this and I like to do this for the rest of my life." In terms of developing businesses and stuff like that, what was that pivotal moment? Was there a storytelling that you had with you in college, or a conversation with yourself perhaps in college, or saying, "Hey, I like this what I'm doing right now, and I think I can make this a lifetime thing"?
Maybe because I don't know if you know this. I don't know if others know this also, but I did not graduate college. No, I dropped out when I was in, I want to say, 3rd year. Pero I think with regards to the credits, the ano tawag doon? Anyway, I was 2nd year lang ata. I wasn't able to finish the 2nd year of my 3.5 year course. So siguro my mind was making excuses kung bakit ako nag-drop out. I mean, hindi pa uso si Zuckerberg noon. Hindi pa uso si Bill Gates, si Bill Gates, So parang I mean, uso na sila, they were there, pero parang hindi pa syempre na nag-glorify yung pag-drop out nila at paggawa ng sarili nilang kumpanya. No? Siguro part of me was always thinking na I have to do something else. Not just do my 8 to 5. Pero basically, wala pa ako 8 to 5 noon. I dropped out in 2008, 2009, and I started working in 2013. No? When my daughter was born. So, bale, the 8 to 5, I just did my 8 to 5 just because I have to. Diba? But then, as it progresses, naisip ko na, I can do some more things with my time. Diba? So yun, I thought about developing some businesses, some .com businesses dahil yun yung super sikat noon.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really into the academics. Hindi talaga ako mahilig mag-aral. I would like to believe na okay ako in terms of street smarts. I know my way around the street, no, so to speak, yung marunong mag-hustle and whatnot, no. But when it comes to academics, I don't know. I just don't like it. That's why, siguro yun lang talaga. That's why I when you said na was there a moment in my life, there wasn't any moment in my life na ginusto ko magkaroon ng business. No, it's just that my life took that turn. Na ginusto talaga. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I'm not a graduate. Siguro yun lang talaga yung naging isip ko na I was parang yun lang, ginusto ko talaga gumawa ng business kasi I think that's my way out. Diba? And we weren't rich. I mean, we were not rich, pero when my dad was alive, we were okay.
Yeah.
And when my dad died, we were okay until we're not anymore. That's why I stopped.
Yeah.
Maybe dahil wala na kaming pambayad ng tuition. But yeah, I mean, and in terms of your question, yung I want to answer it kahit hindi mo tinanong. I'll impose na yun sa development of shows. I like watching TV and movie. No? Parang it intrigues me. It intrigues me so much kung paano nila nagawa, kung paano nila naisulat yung part na yon. I mean, sometimes when I am watching, I forgot that I'm watching a TV show or a movie. Iniisip ko lang kung paano nila sinulat yun. Diba? Like, for example, I don't know, Lost. I don't know if you watched Lost.
Yeah.
sobrang sobrang ganda nung pilot episode niya na when they were able to compress it into one episode yung pilot niya na all of the right lahat ng plot na kailangan nilang i-plot basically was there,
Hmm.
no? Siguro and I watched One Tree Hill.
Hmm.
That made me want to write, no? I think I tried to write some pages about whichever. I never really it really didn't pan out, but sa One Tree Hill kasi it's about high school drama with an aspiring writer at the middle of the series, no? So yun, I guess yung curiosity ko, and I don't know, siguro I'm good. I hope I'm good. Shit, I hope I'm good, di ba?
Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting, and I love this conversation. I love the heart of heart in this conversation. That y- uh, y- you're very honest with the ideas and concepts, and I've noticed also, folks, for those who are tuning in, a funny story that I just want to add into this conversation was that my first impression when we both met. This was, of course, during the pandemic of 2020, and I don't think anyone knows this story. But when we formulated the network, I reached out to him, and he created, of course, the famously known Philippine podcast directory, which is still active. The page is still there, and it's still garnering views and how we worked, and we had a lot of people there. But I want to share this funny story on with Dreian. Was that my first impression was I thought Dreian was a girl, and it was funny. It was funny. I think I had the same story with May Ann. May Ann also went, but May Ann's story was when she was in her live. Shout out to May Ann if she's listening to this. uh, that when she went live, she assumed that my I was a girl because my name was Beloved, and my second, I think my middle name was Beloved, and with Rhea said, "I'm a man," and it's like, "Whoa, okay." It was really interesting.
No, ano naman yun eh. That's very normal. I mean, if I'm going to call McDonald's, well, at least nung tumatawag pa ako sa McDonald's, or if I'm going
Uh,
to call some clients na hindi ko pa nakakausap, hi, pwede po kay Mr. Doreshwami. Yes ma'am, sandali lang po. Diba? So,
yeah,
aside from my name being my name,
yeah,
I don't know, people assume that my voice is a girl. I don't know, does my voice, so sa lahat na nakikinig kay Raj, mag-comment nga kayo, boses babae ba ako? I don't know, di ba?
yeah,
Um, it's the kwento is funny nga siya. I mean, I remember
yeah.
that day, yeah.
Yeah, I think I wanted to add myself into that conversation. The one thing that I remember was I took the first step to introduce myself to you, and I think to add myself into the list because at that time you were building the list, and I said, "Hey, I wanted to be a part of this list," and then I messaged you, and then when we got together and we built the earlier stage of building Pipe Network, it I the first introduction was she, because of course I think your profile picture there was Darla's face, I think. So I was like, oops. We laughed it off. We laughed it off, but yeah.
Yeah, and of course, aside from my name being girly
Yeah,
like, or girly,
yeah,
it's often misspelled
yeah,
incorrectly as well. No,
yeah,
no, not spelled and pronounced. No, Drian, Dreyan, Adrian, Adrian. I
yeah.
mean, the list goes on. But I mean, it's a good conversation starter, di ba?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how we once we had that conversation. We said, "Wow, this this conversation led on, forward into life, and we're working officially. We celebrated recently our anniversary of Pipe Network, and it's been interesting. I mean, it's been an interesting journey, it's up and downs, And here, having you on my
And
show
and
itself.
your I just
Yeah.
yeah, and I just want to say, no, your surname isn't a picnic also. Doreshwami.
Yeah.
Doreshwami. It's hard to say rin, ha?
Yeah.
'Di
I
ba?
mean, to simplify the pronunciation, you take three syllables: door as in door, rice as in food
Yeah.
rice, and whammy. That's it. Door
Yeah,
rice
yeah.
whammy. And I
Oo
remember.
nga, no? Why didn't you tell me that when we started?
I only learned how to syllabicate that later on because I had a friend who I also interviewed, Shireen. How to pronounce her name, how to spell her name is chair and rain. So I said, "Oh yeah, I can actually separate my words in terms of pronunciations." Yeah, and then that's how I developed the thing, the ability to enunciate every single thing that I said. So I it became interesting. And yeah, speaking of interesting, there was a lot of interesting moments that we've shared in PPD in the long term. Folks, for those who are tuning, I wanted to actually say this from my bottom of my heart is that I'm proud of Drean's execution in one of the projects that was considered a joke at that time, but became a reality by the end of the year. And I hope you don't mind if I share this with our listeners. Uh,
Sure, pare, sure. Go.
there was we had a group chat earlier for all podcasters, and everybody. There was a lot of people in that group chat, and that group chat at the time was so active. We sometimes some of us couldn't even sleep because we wanted to know what others were talking about. So there was one evening or afternoon I remember someone posted, "Hey, why won't we have an awards kind of thing, podcast awards thing?" And I recall, I think it was Hillary who said it as a joke. And then Dreyan, on the other hand, he came in and he said, "Hey, I want to do this and want to make it happen." And when I looked at it, I said, "Oh, this thing got real so quickly." you know, I didn't even expect it. It's like the shit got real, and I didn't know what to do. I said, "Okay, if everybody's willing to do it, let's do it." And then next thing I knew was, I think, the December of last year, or I think it was December or November. I forgot. PPD created an awards, and it was really interesting. And to my surprise, I'm still amazed till today that we made that happen. We got everybody in one room and in Zoom, and then we just went full speed. And it was just it blew my mind, to be honest. It's a prouding moment that I want to share that love and respect, and I want to congratulate you for that. I know it's very very way past already, congratulating time, but yeah, I've always wanted to have that moment with you and just share that piece of pride that I have for helping you get that goal. And that's why I really love working with you, is because there's something that, even if it becomes a joke, it's still, it's something that I want. Why not? It's like that expression, why not? Let's do it, why not? It's like, and yeah, I want to share that love and respect.
Yeah, no, yung if to be honest, no, I mean, creating PPD wouldn't have happened if I'm not gonna mention everyone who helped, not helped me, who helped the community build PPD, no.
Yeah.
Um, sa lahat ng tumulong doon, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I know that was, yun yung sinasabi ko kanina, Raj, no?
Mm.
If I have a goal, I'll just do it until I am able to do it, no? Diba?
Yeah.
I set a goal na I want an awards show,
Yeah.
awards night at least, no? For podcasting here in the
Yeah.
Philippines, basically.
Yeah.
I was able to do it, but not without you guys, of course. Kailangan talaga na, I mean, no one can do it unless marami siyang pambayad at pera, no?
Yeah.
But to be honest, that's one of my regrets as well. I mean, after doing the awards night, I wasn't tired. Hindi naman ako napagod. I wasn't, kumbaga, I was so fulfilled dahil I was able to do something. It's just
Mm.
that after that, this is besides pipe ha. Besides
Mm.
pipe pa to ha. Um, I don't know if I mentioned this to anyone, pero parang after that kasi, di ba eventually parang PPD faded off and eventually it was declared closed na, di ba?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, uh, there was a time kasi na when I started doing content again for January, kasi di ba
Yeah.
pahinga was December. So when I started creating content again or at least developing content again for the PPD,
Yeah.
and then I added a new show sa PPD and then I was thinking of another one. Parang I was trying to do so much in a very little time and I got it was daunting for me. I mean, I don't know the right term. Maybe I was inundated so much dahil ang dami kong iniisip, ang dami kong gustong gawin. And then alam mo yung super high na yung I was feeling so I wasn't high sa mga folks na baka magsabi high ako. I wasn't high ha. Pero parang yung my expectations about PPD was so high, no? Tapos bigla na lang poof, nawala na lang siya. Biglang na-deflate na lang and I just told myself, shit, I don't want to do it this anymore, 'di ba? Parang ganun
Yeah.
siya. But
Yeah.
before naman nun, I mean, I said my thanks to everyone naman na kung sino man yon, kung sino man sila ang may kailangan nun. I really appreciate everyone who has been there for PPD. You, again, I don't want to mention names, no? Kasi marami. And but basically, since you're here, I want to say thank you to you, no? Salamat sa iyo kasi you were you were one of those people who started this group to market other shows and eventually led to PPD. So that's your part of the game, and of course you were a host for like 8-9 episodes. I hope you enjoyed doing that, no? Talking to various people. Yeah. So yun lang, and then to let everyone know lang, no, sa mga nakikinig dito, no. So basically PPD na mahilig kasi tayo nung pandemic days, maybe May, June, yung oy pahingi ng link mo, no. Pahingi ng na link ng ano mo. So without anyone knowing, without asking anyone, without asking anyone, I created an Excel sheet. Tapos I just made an Excel sheet, tapos I put my show there, tapos lahat nagsilagay na yung tao doon. 'Di ba? I mean, it started like that. For me, community building, I would say I like that, no? Kasi I like talking to people, or at least I want to know if someone needs help, or if I need help, I can ask someone's help. 'Di ba parang ganoon? And then siguro yun lang. I mean, sa mga nakikinig nito, no, if you see PPD, thank you. If you like PPD, if you're part of the directory, thank you. Naalala ko pa yung mga una kong nakausap sa PPD, yung sumali sila. There were a lot of questions, there were a lot of answers that I wasn't able to answer kasi for me, when I start something, I want to develop it while I make mistakes. No? Parang ganun si PPD nung nagsimula. Of course, that's not applicable to anything. To everything, rather. No? Parang nakita ko, start the PPD. I made cards. Tapos, okay, ano sunod? Diba? Tapos, I thought about making the PPD show. Yun yung yun yung achievement ko talaga na I share with you guys. The PPD show. Kasi it highlighted podcasters that or in the Philippines, basically. Diba? Tapos, malalaman natin kung sino sila sa likod ng mikropono. Parang ganun. So, I mean, to be honest, pare, some nights, naiisip ko na, paano ba sisimulan ulit yun? Diba? Kasi sayang eh. Diba? I mean, it's a good avenue for, I don't know. Sa mga nakikinig, if you have suggestions, sabihin nyo lang. But yeah, I mean, again, no, not for the last time, pero I want to say this again. Thank you sa'yo. Thank you sa lahat ng mga kasama ko sa PPD. It's been an honor, no? I mean, hindi ko magagawa lahat yon. It's not just my accomplishment. It's every podcaster's accomplishment, to be honest.
Interesting. It's just interesting. I mean, the love is here. My love is here as usual. Everybody's love is here, and we send our love to you for making something happen. And yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to that. But before we move on, folks, let's cut into a short break, and we'll be right back after these few short messages. Do you want to get great deals? Go to Pipe Marketplace. Visit pipenetwork.co/marketplace and use the promo code TRS to get exclusive discounts. Chat with them now. Basta Podcast, Pipe yan.
Mainit na diskusyunan,
Masarap na kwentuhan,
malinamnam na usapan,
at nakakagising na balitaktakan.
parang kape lang. My name is Jeff.
And I'm Weya Angeline
Join us in our conversations at Coffee na Lang Dear Podcast.
Hey folks, welcome back to the 64th. Wow, I can't believe I'm saying 64th. It felt like it's the longest journey that I've ever had with this series, and I love it. I mean, there's nothing that I can't deny that um, it has been a challenging journey, but yet there's so much love in it that uh, it's undeniably fun. And the guests that I've had, and the guests that I missed out, I just genuinely love this, and I'm loving this conversation as well. Not to say that I don't love this conversation. I love this conversation with the one and only legendary Dreian himself, who is a friend of mine from PPD and also from Pipe Network. So, network, exactly the last word that I said, network. How did that come about? And I'll share my story of
Sure.
of my part later on. I'll let you start first. How did that come about with network? What led to you from your perspective? I've actually wanted to see your perspective.
Well, like I said kanina, no, I really like to try to start a business,
Mm,
no? I mean, PPD wasn't really a business. It was like a community gathering of some sort, no? So
mm,
hindi ko talaga siya inisip as a business, no? For Pipe Network, we saw, I mean, you and me both, kasama yung iba, no?
yeah,
May nakita tayong opportunity doon na, okay, pwede tayong kumita ng pera.
yeah,
And at the same time, we can help other podcasters, no? So, I mean, for me, yes, of course, ano, I'm not gonna lie. Syempre, the prospect of earning money is perfect because we all need cash, 'di ba? I
yeah.
mean,
True.
basically. Pero yung isa kasi natin doon na pag-usapan when we were formulating even the Orange Juice Network pa nung nagsimula, no? When we
Yeah,
were formulating something, it was about helping podcasters,
yeah,
diba? Because we may not be the most famous podcasters, but we are seasoned veterans already. We know
yeah,
how it works. We know how to edit. We know how to market. At least we think we know how to market, diba? So,
yeah.
yun yung mga naisip natin kung bakit, no? I mean, yun, basically, tumulong at kumita ng pera.
Yeah. Interesting, interesting. From my perspective of the story, as mentioned by Dreyan, Orange Juice was supposedly the name of Pipe Network, the origin name of Pipe Network. And the story behind that was, I think it was during our first meeting because um, earlier on, I remember this. I remember this because I was dying to have alcohol at that time, and I think the COVID was so severe that nobody was allowed, and liquor ban was disallowed, and all that stuff. So I could not find a source of alcohol, and the only thing that we had at home was these Tang. Was that Tetra Pak? Uh,
Yeah.
orange, yeah. So I said, why not? Just mix one, and then every time we had a meeting, I always had orange juice. I remember, and I said, "What are we gonna name this?" I said, Orange Juice Network. That's how it started. And we just laughed it off until it became, oh shit, this is serious. And that from my perspective, that was actually true. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this shit is serious. And then, whoa, and then okay, we rode the show, and then here we are, Pipe Network 1 year, and we're celebrating and we're dancing and we're doing a great job so far. We have a lot of stuff going on, and guys, next year is gonna be a blast. We're looking to do more of what we are doing, and of course love what we do. And yeah, that was my perspective. Started off with a joke, and it always, and yeah, and developing show. You mentioned that you're a cinephile. When did that happen? That I actually forgot to ask you that. You said you've seen One Tree Hill. Have you seen the other one also, 90210? I don't know if you've heard about that one. That's also like a One Tree Hill kind of thing. 90210.
I haven't kasi I think 90210 was in the late 90s. Si One
Yeah.
Tree Hill is 2003, 2004.
Yeah.
And at the time, hindi pa ako na nanonood ng TV noon. No?
Yeah.
So the first TV show that I have watched was Seventh Heaven.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's about the family. Basically there's seven yung sila magkakapatid.
Yeah.
No? Kasi when I was I'm an only child eh. So part of me was inget dahil they were 7 and I'm only 1.
Yeah.
No? 'Di ba? So yun yung reason kung ba't ko pinanood yun noon. And then what else pa ba? The next was Heroes. Nathan Petrelli, si Milo Ventimiglia. I don't know if you watch that. It's about sci-fi TV show. It's one of the best TV shows ng panahon niya, no?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the norm noon eh. Noon it was full of I don't wanna wait for my life. 'Di ba? Kumanta pa ako pero yung mga ganung shows, 'di ba? Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, The
Yeah.
OC, Sex and the City, yan yung mga ano noon eh.
Yeah.
Tapos biglang nagkaroon ng ganun. Though sci-fi was available na nung 2005 to 2010. Parang yung Heroes kasi talaga yung shit, it's Heroes. You have to
Yeah.
watch it, 'di ba? At saka ang dami, 'di ba?
Yeah.
One of the quotes there na hindi ko makakalimutan is sometimes the questions is stronger than the answers.
Yeah.
No. Sinabi yun ni Dr. Mohinder Suresh. Anyway, so and then after that How I Met Your Mother, yun na. From How I Met Your Mother, yeah,
Wow.
kasi 'di ba, I don't know, I'm
That was
a
popular.
geek about Yeah, I'm a geek sa How I Met Your Mother. 'Di ba?
I'm-
So, yeah, I guess it.
I'm sure nostalgia will hit every time you see a yellow umbrella, even
Yeah, of course.
thing. Either that or a blue horn. For those who haven't seen How I Met Your Mother, guys, you haven't had seen life. Go and binge watch. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Go ahead and binge watch How I Met Your Mother.
And dun sa
Yeah.
mga manonood dahil sinabi natin manood sila. Right now, it's medyo, what do they say? Ano yung sinasabi nila minsan? It didn't age well. Kasi
Yeah.
talagang si Barney is a, lack of a better term, mahilig talaga siya sa babae.
Like a
diba?
Johnny Bravo in
So,
character. Something like that.
Yeah, parang ganon. Yeah. So, parang it's not gonna sit well with other people right now.
Yeah.
Totoo naman dahil he's a womanizer and whatever, no. So, but if you look past that,
Yeah.
nakakatuwa siya and nakakatawa talaga siyang show. I don't know. I mean, for me, it's one of the best shows.
I mean, one thing I'm impressed by the fact that How I Met Your Mother, the narrative of the entire storytelling is so long. It's still telling the story. Every episode, he's still talking to the kids. And it's funny how I cannot relate to how much memory he has of the stories in the past, whereas I do not even remember what I ate yesterday. You know? That's why to
Yeah,
me,
that's right. Oo nga eh.
he has like stories from this specific timeline that I dated this girl, that specific timeline I dated Stella, and then I found your mother here, and then Wow. It was really, it's an interesting one. And I think they're developing How I Met Your Father now, which it came up into my home feed in
Yep.
Facebook. And I think Hilary Duff is
Yep, it's
taking.
with Hilary Duff. It's under Hulu, no? So pag
Ah,
ni-release 'yon, don't expect me guys to do anything for you guys muna. Because I'm gonna watch the shit out of that.
yeah. Hulu. Yeah, I think Hulu also has my favorite show. If I may share with you also, I'm also a major cinephile. Me and Dad, we we watch TV like that. That's how most of the stuff that I learned English wise is from movies, from TV shows. I cannot really specify the moment when I watched my first movie and I said, "Hey, I really love this stuff," because my fascination of how movies are created is the um, by how it's created. It's well produced. The most that I remember that I could not sleep at night was after watching Jurassic Park 3. And when you see the T-Rex, I remember I had like nightmares, like the T-Rex would come into my house. Especially there was that scary, I think, Jurassic Park 3, where the T-Rex got into the city and killed the dog, and it's like, oh man, it was so scary. And yeah, that was the moment that I think I remember. After then on out, I just enjoyed movies in general. In India, I was watching How I Met Your Mother and Dexter. I don't know if you've reached Dexter. Dexter is the serial killer who
I
kills other
did.
serial killers. It's really a nice
Yeah,
concept. If yeah,
yeah, it is. I mean, nung I watched that until hindi ko siya tinapos. I don't know
yeah,
why. Siguro I will watch it again dahil magkakaroon siya ng reboot. I don't know if you heard of that.
yeah. That's actually
Magkakaroon siya
there.
ng reboot.
I I saw
Yeah.
the
So,
I saw the first episode actually. Half of the first
meron
episode.
ng
Yeah, it's
yung sa
released.
reboot, meron na?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I have to go na. I have to watch it. Joke lang. No, yung sa I just want to note no, yung sa Dexter, it's it's cringy. I mean, I watch Grey's Anatomy. I watch a lot of people opening up other people. Pero iba
Yeah.
yung sa Dexter.
Yeah.
You feel kasi yung hunger niya to kill,
Yeah.
no? Spoiler alert, no? Killer si
Yeah.
Dexter doon.
Yeah.
Pero ginawan na kasi ng spin na he kills people not for sport but bad people. So I guess
Yeah.
it doesn't exonerate him from
Yeah.
doing bad stuff, pero at least in his mind, in some twisted way, sa tingin niya
He's a
tama
hero.
ginagawa niya.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, sa sarili niya, di ba?
Yeah. When I saw it for the first time, I think when I was watching this in India, the concept to me was unso familiar because as a cinephile, I love the hero story, the origin of a hero story. I've never heard the concept of anti-hero like Punisher, who kills for sport, like you mentioned. And when I heard the concept of what Dexter was made of, it was just interesting, to be honest. I mean, it sounds weird. Sounds weird coming from a normal human being to say that the concept of a person killing another person for the sake of survival of humanity is just fascinating. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's I mean, kulang ang 1 hour natin since you mentioned Punisher. I don't know if you watched Netflix's Punisher. I mean, I don't want to go into that, pero
No, but the
it's
concept of anti-hero was really rare to me. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it's
it is,
rare.
it is, yeah.
I've and when Dexter came and he defined that moment of being an anti-hero, it's just surreal. You know, if you think of a hero or you think of a character that you fall in love with, usually it's guys like Superman, Batman. Although Batman now is an anti-hero, but the idea is that they do something for the good of humanity. And when you come to this concept of Dexter, it's just different. I don't know if it makes sense, but it's just different. It's like killing other people's killing, but that's the thing. we took this whole conversation into Dexter. So yeah, but yeah, it that's an interesting thing. Being a cinephile made me interesting. That's why, if I don't know if you've noticed in certain times when we have meetings, I speak a certain language like Bucks. I say Bucks. I want to go to the John. I don't know if I've said that before, but those are the words that I've learned from American slang or American way of saying. That's why cinephile, being
Yeah,
a
it
cinephile is
helps.
good. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it helps. I mean, when I was growing up, we really didn't speak English at
Mm.
our household. No, with my mom and dad.
Ah,
So I can honestly say, no, talaga nakakatulong ang TV show. No,
yeah,
I
true,
mean,
true.
if you're a parent, don't let your kids watch the whole day. But for me, no, it did help. I mean, Friends, How I Met Your Mother, they have their own colloquial or sarili nilang inside jokes na sila nakakaintindi.
Yeah,
And it helps kasi you would want to understand what they said, so minsan i-rewind mo,
yeah,
no? Sometimes mabilis sila magsalita, but don't get me started with British English, no?
yeah,
In terms of in terms of TV shows and movies, I really don't like, not really don't like, sorry. Baka mamaya the fans would but I'm not a fan of movies and TV shows na British English yung main language, no. So that's why Game of Thrones, I really didn't watch it at first.
yeah.
Harry Potter, no comment. And even your favorite James Bond, no. Hindi
Ah,
ko talaga siya nasubaybayan when we were little. Nung nagsisimula pa lang with Pierce Brosnan at least, no. Hindi ko siya
yeah,
nasimula, not because I didn't like it, but because my grasp of the English listening skills, my British English listening skills aren't really there, no. Until now, sometimes.
interesting. I was actually planning to recommend Peaky Blinders to you, but yeah, I think that's off the window now
No,
because that's a thing.
si Diana, she watches Peaky Blinders, no. So
Really,
basically,
shout out to
basically
Diana. Shout out to Diana and the kids.
basically basically I am able to watch it na through her
Yeah,
dahil sa mga kwento niya sa akin, 'di ba?
yeah. The thing about that is once you get so evolved into certain languages, it becomes a piece of you. That's one thing personally to me. You since you mentioned James Bond, the mannerisms of James Bond, not just the accent. I remember. I don't know if I've shared this story, but when I was in high school, once I started watching in India. Once I was collecting. I was collecting the series and I was watching the James Bond. His mannerisms are something that I've been emulating. I don't know if it makes sense. Like when he stands up, he puts it, he buttons the first button on the blazer, or when he sits down, he pushes his pants up, and in order to sit down. I don't know if you know those small mannerisms, fixing the cufflinks, a little bit fidgety with the cufflinks and the tie, all those mannerisms. Those were the things that I followed, and it was really made me a weird strange cookie. And especially at that time when in high school we had like on Mondays, I love Mondays because we're in full white and then we have a blazer. So I really love playing fixing the blazer in such a way like that, like a James Bond character. So yeah. It's really art.
Yung sa mannerisms, yeah, yung sa mannerisms, I don't have that character kasi na I really follow, unlike you. I mean, you have
Yeah,
James Bond,
yeah,
no? So, but I would like to say that the stories get stuck in my head, no?
yeah,
And I'm going to create this theories, my hypothesis kung ano nangyari, basically, no? So yun yung talaga napipick up ko eh. I
mm,
mean, I remember my computer teacher.
mm,
She's a lady, a girl. When I was in grade 2 or grade 3, I think one of the first computer classes, no?
yeah,
meron siyang sinabi, I think she was making an analogy in terms of remembering. 'Di ba?
Yeah.
Our computers have ROM and RAM to make us to load anong tawag nito? To store data, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Sabi
Yeah.
niya, wala pa daw siyang kilala na pagkatapos manood ng sine, is kaya na niyang i-explain kung ano nangyari sa sine, 'di ba? I bet you can do that. Pagkatapos ng sine, you can explain it na, 'di ba?
Yeah. Yeah.
'Di ba? So parang doon naisip ko na okay, I have this talent na I can remember things about the movie, but there's a catch there. I don't remember all of the technical details, all of
Yeah.
the things that pero I remember all of the climactic, the emotional scenes,
Yeah.
all of
The ones
the
that
other scenes na kung
hooked you.
ano yung matter. Well, yeah, everything matters in a movie, no?
Yeah.
Pero yung talagang nag-hook sa akin, like for example, yung kay Batman, yung sinabi na ni Gary Oldman na you have to run, tapos sinabi niya yeah, it's yung tumatakbo na siya, yung ending na nung movie, 'di ba? Or yung sa One Tree Hill nung pinatay na yung isang lead character. So yung mga ganun yung naaalala ko, and up to now, if I'm right now I'm imagining those scenes. I may not remember the script, pero I remember yung feeling ko nung pinanood ko yun.
Wow. This conversation was spotless. I mean, it was if I were to put this into a topic, it's all about developing hearts and minds, and it's like we went into a developing room where we took all the memories and we were just developing it through the water. I'm sure you've seen, I don't know what movie I've seen that in, but there was a movie that I remember where there's this photographer who takes photos and he goes to the red room, or a room where he develops the photos.
Develops, yeah.
So yeah, here we're developing hearts and minds because speaking of development and saying, pal, I wanted to ask you one question that I also often ask to my guest is that what is your motivation? Can be a motivation when you wake up, or a motivation that you live by, a philosophy that you live by every day. Do you have one philosophy that is Dreian De Ocampo's signature all over it, if I may ask?
I don't have my own. Maybe kung ano yung mga pinagsasabi ko kanina. No? Some of it yun. But I have this Kobe Bryant, no? Siya yung isa sa mga talagang idols ko, not because of his playing, but because of his tenacity. He doesn't care about he does care about others, sorry, pero if if meron siyang goal, yun talaga yung gagawin niya. Diba? Yun talaga yung gagawin niya, and I found this quote after he died, no, but if I think about it, yun na siguro yung ginagawa ko talaga, kasi I make sure that I enjoy. No, I have a lot of work to do for all of the things that I have to do, no? Family, ganyan. But I make sure that I enjoy, di ba? I have this quote sa kanya. I think I mentioned this to you, maybe. But may quote siya na have a good time, enjoy life. Life is too short to get bogged down and be discouraged, no? So ang sinasabi lang niya dito is mag-enjoy ka, no? And the life is too short para you get hindered by all of the hindrances sa buhay mo. 'Di ba? If someone says na shit, you can't do that, fuck you. Sorry. Pero you get my point, 'di ba? Parang if someone tells you that you can't do it, no, I can do it. Don't tell me what I can't do, no? Katulad ng lagi sinasabi ni John Locke sa Lost, no? Never tell anyone that they can't do what they want to do, no? And then siguro lastly, one from One Tree Hill. This is the biological mother of Peyton Sawyer, played by Hilary Burton. Sabi ng mom niya na every song has a coda. Nakalimutan ko na yung next line. Basically, ang sinasabi niya is every song will end, but that doesn't it doesn't mean that you don't have to enjoy the music, no? So, kung hindi mo magagawa yung gusto mong gawin, that it will end, siguro you can enjoy it na lang pagkatapos, di ba? Kasi parang, if you don't, yun talaga yung pinaka-importante sa akin. You have to enjoy. No? I mean, di ba sabi nga nila, work hard and play harder.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Yeah.
Yun yung sabi nila. Sa akin talaga, if you don't enjoy life, come to me. I will help you enjoy life. Di ba? Parang,
Yeah.
it's not fulfilling. I mean, I know the billionaires are grinding, pero hindi natin alam. Baka mamaya 30 minutes of their day, baka mamaya nag-Game Boy lang yan or nagte-Tetris lang yan, di ba? Kasi if you're full of work, that's fine.
Yeah.
Pero hindi mo may enjoy eh, di ba? I mean, last na parang I have a friend who works like 18 hours a day. They parang sleep lang 4 hours a day. Sorry, yeah. They work like 18 hours a day. They sleep 4 hours a day. Marami silang pera pero hindi nila na-enjoy. Yes, they want to grind now so they can enjoy later, di ba?
Yeah.
Pero sometimes kasi the later or the future is important, but I think you have to take care of yourself right now, di ba? Parang ganun.
Interesting, pal. That's what a powerful ender. That's a one way of ending a lovely conversation about development. Unfortunately, we could not continue with baseball, which was part of the list. But I'm sure we'd have the same sentiments for the love of movies as for the love of sports, which is the same thing. Enjoy, it's just, like you said, enjoy. You enjoyed stuff and stuff like that. And of course, pal, just before we end this conversation, of course, some of my listeners would love to connect with you or would love to connect with Pipe Network. How will they reach out to you, pal?
Don't reach out to me. Wala naman kayo mapapala sa akin eh. No, biro lang. But I don't have anything to promote right now. Maybe the shows that we are working on sa Pipe 8 Questions for ATTV Pod. The others, ano bang shows natin? The Attorney Che Show. All of, not just Pipe. Listen to Philippine Podcasting. Sa lahat ng tungkol sa podcasting natin. Kasi I like watching YouTube pero hindi lahat ng content is nasa YouTube, no? Visual kasi ang mga Pilipino, 'di ba? Pero once they see that podcasting is okay while they do their chores, pag naging auditory na lahat, they would actually improve their productivity. At least that's what I want to believe, no? And then I want you guys, Raj, can I promote one more thing?
Sure, go ahead.
So, I want to promote the Rajiv show. Kasi, listen to Raj and to his guests, no? Sa lahat ng hirap na ginawa niya sa show na to, it warrants a listen. No? He has like 99 episodes, if not mistaken, once this is released. No?
64.
Listen to his show.
Yeah.
No, kasama yung first 2 seasons, 3 seasons. Total of 99 ba? Tama ba? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Listen to him, no? Kasi, it's not because he put in a lot of work dun sa show niya, which he did, but the stories, not my story sucks, no? Pero the stories that he tells everyone, the stories that his guests share, it's so powerful. Makakatulong siya sa mga kailangan ninyo, no? So, yun ang gusto ko i-promote. Listen to Rajiv show. To the Rajiv show, sorry. And make sure that when you read Rajiv's last name, it's door for the pintuan, rice for the kanin, and wami. Okay?
Thank you so much. Much love. Man, that was heartwarming. I didn't really expect that. Now I'm teary-eyed. Thank you, pal, for that. It means a lot coming from you. Yeah, actually, my eyes, my eye is actually watering right now. I want to say thank you for having this conversation, and saying yes to me. Of course, I know you're a very busy man, and hopefully somewhere down the line, let's have another conversation, have a roundtable discussion, about motivation and inspiration. Probably, perhaps, put in baseball there, and then something like that.
I'll hold you to that. Yeah.
Yeah. And for those who are tuning in, I hope you were entertained and you loved the conversation that we had. We just had fun, and I can't believe um, I'm ending the season off with one of the best that I know that I've met in my life. That changed my life, and I have tremendous respect for his work ethic and his absolute creativity and productivity. And I just want to give you a shout out, a cheers, and a salute to you for inspiring me to be consistent, to be persistent, and to be wise, and to be saying, although when the world's beaten me down, I know a guy that I can text in Paranaque, Manila, and it's just one text away. And of course, yeah, I want to say I'm grateful. I'm eternally grateful, pal. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm always here, brother.
Yeah. And for those who are tuning in, folks, again, I hope you enjoyed this. And the Rajiv show will have one more episode before the ending, and that will be the 65th. That will be the next week of if you're following week by week basis. And after that, I'll be gone for some time. Don't worry, I'll come back, but I'll be more. My schedules will be much more different because I'll be working on another project. With that in mind, cheers, folks, and I will see you in the last episode of the series. Cheers.